What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another one. Today we're going to be looking at the whole Venezuela thing, and you know how we like to do, man. We like to go and see what the conspiracies and all that stuff is and check it out. We're going to see if it's true or not. But let's go and get into that video, man.
At the end of the year, these shamans did rituals in Peru. These Peru shamans did these rituals and predicted the downfall of a guy named Maduro. He recently just got caught up in Venezuela. But they already been hit with the guy in Venezuela. So maybe these shamans ain't playing, they ain't fucking around, bro.
In 2026, we see Mr. Nicolas Maduro defeated. Nicolas Maduro will flee Venezuela. He will not be captured, he will flee Venezuela.
I see the only problem is he didn't technically flee Venezuela, he was captured. But like the rest, y'all gonna see the rest of the videos. But if the rest of the clips is right, he kind of did flee Venezuela, because if he a part of the whole, you know what I'm saying? If he a part of the whole plan, then you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying?
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10.
That's crazy, man.
Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again.
Tribe, I ain't gonna lie, that kind of crazy right there. If you was there looking at that, seeing all that stuff explode, I know people's hearts are dropping to the bottom of their feet.
After Maduro was captured by the United States, he was paraded through the streets of New York in a van with the doors wide open.
Like, why would they have the doors open like that? Anybody can run up on that man and, you know what I mean, straight take him out.
Him arrested with soldiers right there. It's just absolutely crazy to me. They paraded a political enemy, a political prisoner, through the streets of New York after capturing him. If this isn't a movie, I don't know what is.
Venezuela, that was some mean bush. More than a few. 3 tours Nigeria, not a scratch.
I thought that one right there was pretty crazy, that they had that in Avatar about, and they just had Nigeria on the news with Trump going in there bombing them or something to that nature.
So Nicolas Maduro gets captured by the US, but you guys, are we watching a movie? Let's get into it. Now first, a lot of people are saying America invaded Venezuela to stop the narco-terrorism, but also it's the oil, in which they have more than anybody else, with over 300 billion barrels of crude oil. Now it's important to note that this is the thick, rich, dark crude oil, because there's 3 types. There's light, medium, and dark, in which we have refineries in Texas and Louisiana to refine this brand new oil. But question, how many times does this guy need to change during his capture? Because it seems like they're making this whole process nice and cozy, don't you think?
Yeah, because they had the man in a Nike tech. Like, y'all know who wear Nike techs, man. Come on now.
And how did this person know that all this is going down? Because this account on Polymarket made 4 predictions, putting up about $30,000 and profiting over $400,000.
That's a site where you can like predict different events and stuff like that. Like, you could make bets on different events and stuff like that around the world. And they had just made that account, and then they put bets on this a couple hours before it happened. Like, they had to know that was finna happen. Like, that had to be somebody that already knew.
And some of those predictions says Maduro out by January 31st, will the US invade, etc. And these were just placed just hours before the attack. Not to mention, after all this goes down, the US secures a silver smelter deal to process metals, which is not surprising because Venezuela also has some of the biggest rare earth mineral deposits. And oh look, it's financed by JP Morgan, a central bank. Just like this guy congratulating Trump on his victory, who is a central banker himself.
Now look at that name now, Nate Rothschild. Like, y'all already know what that family about. Come on now. It's all there, right?
A Rothschild. And you guessed it, here's all the countries that didn't have a central bank, and some of these stories, well, you know how they ended. Now there's various pictures of him giving up the thumbs up sign. He looks very happy for somebody who's facing narco-terrorism charges, but maybe he handed all this over on a silver platter. Have you guys ever heard of Smartmatic, the Venezuelan voting system that not only was used during Hugo Chavez's re-election, but used in the 2020 US election?
All these people, like, they be kind of knowing each other and they be kind of related too, at least in America. Now, I don't know about the whole world, like different governments around the world and stuff, but these people be knowing each other, man. And they be related. They be going to these meetings and shit together. Like, don't get me wrong now. People did die. Like, real people died. And that's sad that people died. We not, you know what I mean? We not going to go past that. We're not going to let that slide. People did die. But a lot of this stuff be like, stage, man.
Now I wonder, does Maduro have any vital information on corruption when it comes to the 2020 election, which may not be far-fetched because 3 executives from Smartmatic were charged under the Foreign Corruption Practices Act. So I guess time will tell. Make sure you guys hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but let me know what you guys think. Did Maduro make a deal? Let me know below.
Y'all going to follow him, man. He made some good videos, man. He be putting a lot of stuff together, man.
Did you know that everything that's happening in Caracas, Venezuela was already foretold to us? In this Call of Duty, the United States sent special forces in order to take over the dictator of Venezuela. Caracas, Venezuela to be exact. But this is where it gets crazy. Pay attention. This Call of Duty came out 12 years ago. You want to know what else happened 12 years ago? Nicolas Maduro started his presidency 12 years ago. Look at the opening scene to the final act.
To us, Rourke was a legend. A man could walk through hell.
They based the game 12 years in the past. Is that coincidence? What else is crazy is the similarities between the dictator of the Call of Duty game and Maduro. The dictator in the game is named Diego Almagro. Look at the
That sound very similar to me, man.
characteristics that Diego Almagro had in the game. He would torture and imprison US-born individuals. Sounds very similar to Maduro, wouldn't you say? He has been accused of crimes against humanity, including excessive force, arbitrary detentions, torture. Not only did this Call of Duty get the exact timeline down to a T, it also got the exact location, Caracas, Venezuela. I really do hope that people start opening their eyes and realizing that they have to tell us what they do before they do it. These occultists and elites believe if they tell us beforehand what they're doing, they won't pay the price in the afterlife. It's called karmic retribution. This is their belief. Search it up. There is no such thing as coincidences.
Look, check this out, right? People might get mad at me about saying this, but I'm gonna say it, bro. Regarding this whole thing of like actors and staged events, remember the World Trade Center is up there in New York, right? And the dude they said that did it, right? Mr. Laden, right? I ain't gonna say his whole name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And the kiter dudes. Remember, man, remember, they worked for the CIA. The CIA made them, and their name meant the base. This B.N. Laden dude, he worked for the CIA. They was all paid. So it's like you can't really say, you can't put it past them to say that these events was already planned, for it to happen, man. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man.
Are we living in a video game right now? Call of Duty Black Ops 2, to be precise. Ironically enough, it is set in the year 2025.
Like, what's the odds of that, man?
Let's take a look at the plot, shall we? So we got the CIA fighting a Nicaraguan narco-terrorist. That's not too crazy, right? Going on, the storyline is about the United States in a Cold War with China after China stops exporting rare earth elements, rare earth minerals. That sounds familiar. Oh, shit, right, they literally did that this week. Right. Yeah, that happened. Part of the storyline also involves the Chinese stock market crashing. Oh, and one of the main battlegrounds is Yemen in the game.
Now check this out, right? Speaking of going back to, 9/11, I'm gonna just say, the trade centers, right? After that happened, right, they said we was gonna go into this whole thing of, we was gonna go into this war on terror, right? And now we fast forward to 2025, but now it's narco terror. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
we're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
So in other words, the United States of America, or specifically Donald Trump, is trying to build up Venezuela in the same way that the Federation Army did. Now here's the big worry, is in Call of Duty Ghost, once they go in and take out the leader of the Federation Army, does anybody know how they responded? Let's just say, hopefully, this is where Call of Duty Ghosts stops predicting the future.
and we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so.
2, 1, push! Guy said he was going for the truck. We have to find him. Get across, quick!
Nah, this dude right here, he did a whole series breaking it down. Y'all go check him out.
I'll say it once and I'll say it again. It's always in the movies. Now, there's been a ton of talk lately from the White House about Trump purchasing Greenland and making it the 51st state of America. Now, reason being, he said it's for national security because of growing tensions from foreign entities. But let's not forget that Greenland has 25 of the 34 minerals that are deemed critical raw materials, which include copper, diamond, gold, graphite, iron ore, nickel, just to name a few. But here's where it gets weird. Can anybody tell me why there is a movie coming out on January 9th called Greenland?
If y'all wondering why I keep mentioning about these metals and the minerals and stuff, it's because all the technology that we have nowadays, it relies on these minerals and metals. In order for them to keep making these technologies, also to make the weapons that they need for the war that they trying to wage, they need those minerals and metals.
And if you guys notice on the movie posters, it has these 4 cities: Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, and Chicago. Now, what is this movie about? So this was a sequel to part 1 that came out in 2020, and it reads, in the aftermath of a comet that decimates most of the planet, the Garrity family must leave the safety of their Greenland bunker to traverse a shattered world in search of a new home. So we're talking about bunkers and national security. This is all starting to make sense. But it gets even weirder, you guys. So it's not just the movies, it's the video games as well. So this game called Call of Duty Ghosts comes out in 2013, right? Now, what is this game about? So this game takes place in 2026, where a special unit called Ghost goes to Caracas, Venezuela to capture a dictator. Now, this game came out in November of 2013, which is the same year that Maduro took power. Now, if that's not weird enough for you, right before Maduro gets caught on January 3rd, the co-founder of Call of Duty dies in a car crash December 21st. But wait, hold up. So you mean to tell me the co-founder of Call of Duty dies, then 13 days later, Maduro gets caught, in which the game is about him getting caught, and the game comes out on a 13th year, he takes power on a 13th year, and the founder becomes literally a ghost. What? Simulation complete. I have no idea what to make of all this, but make sure you guys hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, and let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Check his YouTube out. He makes some. He be putting stuff together, man. He be doing his thing.
Do you find it at all interesting that with all this talk of Greenland, which they're pretending some negotiations are working out, and they're pretending that like Trump's acting out of place by trying to get Greenland, we have a movie called Greenland coming out called Migration, Greenland 2. With this guy. Now, here's the crazy part. The headlines are going wild about why Trump wants Greenland, this U.S. trade deal over Greenland, and how America wants to take Greenland. Now, the cover story is that it's for safety and security coming across that ocean there with Russia and China over there. But if you've ever seen Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, when the evil empire successfully gets rid of all the Jedi, or most of them, and takes over the galaxy, his statement, Emperor Palpatine, who is the Dark Lord of the Sith, comes out and says, now, the galaxy will be more safe and more secure than ever before. Something along those lines of safety and security. And what do they say? The welfare of the people has always been the alibi of tyrants. Now, I'm not saying Trump is a tyrant, although I know many people believe that. Also, many people believe he's acting in 100% the best interests of the American people. But I do find it interesting that many, many decades ago, the better half of a century, there has been a plan, prophesized, rumored, to make the North America, Central America, the top of South America and Greenland into one supranational mega state, like the European Union. And if you've ever read George Orwell's book, you know, in that book, fictional world, you are ruled by people you didn't get to vote for. Now, is that not what we have with the European Union? Like, people don't want to be a part of it. If you did a vote right now, most of the countries in the European Union would want out. It's a governing body, a bureaucracy that dictates what's going on into your daily lives. So we're seeing excuses for reasons why we have to go to Venezuela and Colombia, the cartels, Greenland for safety and security, the cartels, South America, safety and security, 51st state, Canada, 51st state. People are stoked, like they have psyoped people to believe this is an amazing thing. This is actually going to be really good. It's going to boost the economy. It's part of the plan. And do you know what the plan is on the other side of the world? Russia and China, the alliance over there, that would also become a super state. There would be 3 of them at least. And in other novels like Brave New World and Behold a Pale Horse, they're constantly at conflict.
Let's take a look at what The Economist has planned for 2026, which is primarily owned by Italian industrialists, the Angelelli family, also known as the Italian Kennedys.
See, when you look into these families, most of these corporations, these magazines and the media and all this stuff is owned by these elite families. And they put into umbrella corporations. So when they put out stuff like this with this magazine, you know, The Economist, that's straight from their mouth. Like they telling you what they finna do the next year.
Married into Italian nobility, like the Bourbon Del Monte house. It's also owned by the Rothschilds. At first glance, we see President Trump and President Xi separated by 2 swords, who are surrounded by weapons of war, from the tanks to the missiles to the satellites to the shots that are pointed up like missiles. It definitely looks like these bloodlines and principalities are about to wage war against all of humanity. And if you zoom a little closer, you will see a red, white, and blue cake with the number 250 on it, signifying the 250th year of the United States Empire, with a Chinese container ship shooting a missile at it. The idea that most empires last around 250 years was cited in Sir John Glubb's essay, The Fate of Empires. And throughout the image, you'll see a lot of robots, which I believe is paying homage to their transhumanist agenda. All that to say, The Economist has a history of telling us what their plans are and how they plan to manufacture their prophetic ambitions. We'll see if it works.
So what do you notice right away when you first look at this? I'll tell you what I notice. I see absolute chaos, intentional chaos. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but they showed the whole world as a soccer ball being kicked by this guy right here. This is suggesting that the world is like a ball to be played with. And the direction of the ball is not determined by natural forces. And it's manipulated by deliberate actions and powerful entities. Global powers do not cradle the planet. They kick it. These 2 men fighting right here, red versus blue, this is a sign of division. I mean, it's all red and blue to illustrate intentional divide. Right here, there's a controller connected to a brain. And this is to be taken literally, that you are being controlled. Notice how the controller is directly above Trump. And it was 250 years ago that we signed the Declaration of Independence. And you notice how they completely blocked off the flag too. And you notice how there's half red, half blue pills all over the place? 2 separate sides of the same pill. It doesn't matter if you choose red or blue, it's the same. Even if you think you're choosing the red pill, it's a controlled awakening. Listening to mainstream opposition is a controlled environment that was created for you. Now I'm gonna take a wild guess here and say that this is Erica Kirk wearing red. Now this is a gavel and the thing that it hits is broken. This is a sign that the justice system is broken. And
See, I see that gavel being broken. I see that as the breakdown of law, especially in international law. When society break down, that's when law break down.
But it's right here how money is simply crumbling. And now why would they be shooting at something that symbolizes freedom in the Declaration of Independence? And we'll probably see some kind of vaccine sometime soon for God knows what. Now there's a lot more I could talk about here, like what the symbol on this sail means. But I'll just end it here and let me know what you guys noticed about it.
I mean, it gotta be something to it, right? Them people gotta be telling us in the movies before the thing happens so we see it. We don't pay attention a lot of the times, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. But anyways, man, y'all go ahead and like and subscribe to the video. Guess what, man? I'll holler at y'all boys later, man. Peace.
I wake up, knowing I'm him, knowing I'm me, knowing I'm P. You at your mind, you way behind. If you can't see what I see. See that I'm popping, know that I'm locked in. On top of my shit, it's where I be. How many times have a nigga tried to bring me down, but they couldn't cause I stood T? Nigga, that's tall, I don't fall. Something like